Hello, my name is Jennifer, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to subtract integers. Now grab a pencil and some paper and work these examples with me. We're going to use the definition of an integer as any positive or negative whole number. Okay, so I'm going to start you kind of at a basic subtraction problem. 10 minus 7. Okay, probably know that this is 3. But it gets a little trickier when we start having negative numbers, subtracting negative numbers. So we're going to use a little trick, and that trick is called adding the opposite. Okay, so take 10 minus 7 equals 3. When we add the opposite, okay, we are actually going to change that subtraction sign to an addition sign. But in algebra, if one thing changes, something else has to change. So we're going to add the opposite. This was subtracting a 7, which we can consider a positive 7. Now it's going to be adding a negative 7. So this is actually going to turn into a negative. I'm going to put a set of parentheses around it and put in a negative number. 10 plus negative 7 is a positive 3. So let's do another example. Let's say we have 5 minus a negative 4. Okay, notice again that the negative sign for the 4, it looks a lot like that subtraction sign, but there should be a set of parentheses around the number that's negative. Okay, if we use the trick, we're going to add the opposite. So instead of this subtraction sign, we're going to make that a plus sign. And instead of a negative 4, this is going to be a positive 4. And then we simply solve this addition problem. 5 plus a positive 4 is a positive 9. Okay, let's go through another example. Let's say you have negative 6 minus 3. Okay, starting to look complicated, isn't it? Okay, if we're going to add the opposite, we're going to keep this negative 6 the same. We're going to change the subtraction sign to an addition. And then this was a positive 3. We are going to make that a negative 3. This problem now reads negative 6 plus negative 3, which is a total of a negative 9. Okay, here's a couple more examples. What if you had the problem 2 minus 6? Okay, this looks complicated because how can you take 6 away from 2? So we're going to apply the same trick that I taught you earlier by adding the opposite number. We're going to keep the 2 the same. We're going to take this subtraction sign, change it to an addition sign. And the 6, we're going to use the opposite sign. It's going to be a negative 6. And now we're going to add 2 plus negative 6 is a negative 4. Let me show you one more example. What if we had negative 4 minus a negative 3? Okay. From the looks of this problem, there's a lot of subtraction signs in there. But let me remind you, if a number is inside of a parenthesis, these, even though they look like a subtraction sign, it's actually a negative sign in there. So this is a negative 4 minus negative 3. We are going to apply the same little trick as before, we are going to add the opposite. So instead of this subtraction sign, we're going to change that subtraction sign to an addition sign. And instead of a -3, we're going to change it to a +3. Now we're going to solve the addition problem. -4 plus a +3 is a -1. Now, if you still have questions about subtracting integers, please contact your professor or stop by the math tutoring lab or watch this video again. Thank you.